Hello, welcome to Visual Basic 1, CSCI 1620. That's the course number. This is the section number, which is only going to be applicable right this semester, but future semesters will have a different number here. Primarily, you can reach me, as I went over in the expectations, via email, but also you may reach me via WebEx. So if you need to have a WebEx session with me so I can see your screen and you can see my screen and we can talk together, then please shoot me an email that you want to schedule a WebEx and give me some general times that would be good for you. I'll schedule it and send you an invite. And this is a little link that will give you a primer on how to use WebEx. We've got 2 or 3 basic links here that you're going to have to deal with in this course. The first one is course information. Course information has a printable syllabus, so you'll click that and this will come up. We'll talk about that here in a second. And it's got my office hours, which since we're offline, it would be via appointments by WebEx or just email me. And I've also got this read this first. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, this is saying, hey, you need to download Visual Studio. I recommend downloading Visual Studio 2019 Community. It's a lightweight version and does everything we need to do in this class. And it's a free download. So here's the link for it. So you download that and bingo, you're in. You can also download the enterprise version, and that's available via Microsoft Azure, A-Z-U-R-E. And if you need that link, I can get it to you. The difference is the enterprise version is a full developer version. So if you're planning on using Visual Studio beyond this class, I can certainly help you download that version and give you the link for that. You need Windows 10 in this class. We don't use Visual Studio for Mac. If you're using a Mac, there's a couple of different workarounds. You can download Boot Camp, and that will enable you to install a Windows operating system, Windows 10 operating system. Or you can buy Parallels. Parallels will do the same thing for you. But I believe Boot Camp is free and Parallels is not. In this course, in the book, it will say download Power Packs. I am saying do not download Power Packs and do not include a print button on your form until Chapter 7. So there's 2 key things there please don't do, because code will be generated that could mess up your program. So watch out for those 2 things. Okay, going to the syllabus. So my name is Dr. Ty Fogel, and I am very responsive to email, so that's the best way to get a hold of me. And if we need to schedule a WebEx, we can do that. We covered that, Microsoft Visual Studio. And then also the book. You need to get this book ASAP. Okay, so whether you get it from the bookstore or you buy it online, if you buy it online, I suggest you have it shipped overnight because you're going to need to start working with it immediately. And it's Visual Basic 2010. Now don't let that throw you, because everything that is done in that book is still valid today. And we're using the latest software to do it in, but the book is a 2010 copyright. It still works great. So in this course, we're going to have lab assignments due every week, and we're going to have 3 tests. We're going to have midterm 1 and midterm 2, and we're going to have a final. Okay, so those are listed there. And here are the corresponding percentages. So obviously 90 to 100 is an A, and so forth. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, lab assignments are due generally on Mondays. The first one's going to be due on Sunday because of Labor Day. But after that, starting September 14th, all assignments are due on Monday at 5:59 p.m. You don't have until 11:59. It's 5:59. So please plan accordingly. Okay, so I go over that here. I say lab due dates. They're due 1 week after being assigned. So the first Monday is August 31st in this case. And then you've got until September 7th, or actually September 6th because of Labor Day. We're going to turn in 1 day early. Now, there's a late period built into the course. It's a pretty generous late period. It's only a 10% reduction for labs that are more than 1 week late. Okay? Or labs that are past the due date. Labs more than 1 week late won't be accepted. Okay, it's your responsibility to read the syllabus, text. The text is going to be very important in this class. You will not be able to pass this course without the text. Okay, you need it. And you won't be able to do well in it unless you read it well. So keep those two things in mind. So in this course, it tells you how many credit hours it is and how many hours outside of class you should be spending. If you have no programming background, you're going to need to spend between 10 and 15 hours a week in this course. That's just what it's going to take by reading and doing the assignments. The attendance policy is you're expected to attend and participate. What does that mean? In a virtual class, it means in this case that the participation, when you turn in assignments, that is your attendance. So if you are not participating, you're not turning in assignments, that's what I take as your attendance. And if you're a financial aid student, I have to report non-attendance during specific times. So that is something to keep in mind. Okay, we have a few more policy statements which you can read at your leisure. Here we are at the units of instruction. Okay, this breaks out exactly how you're to operate in the course. The first week, you've got the Chapter 1 introduction. It's got the learning objectives. It's got the places where the assessment is going to happen. And then it's got the specific assignments. So it's got Lab 1A, and it says Chapter 1, hands-on, beginning page 14, continuing as exercise 1.1, and you finish it page 59. So you're going to be, in this particular case, you are going to be creating a Hello World application, and it's got 4 language buttons at the end when you're done with it, okay? So the A exercises, you'll be doing hands-on in class. The B exercises, you're going to have to take what you learned from the A lab and follow it and do on your own, okay? And so this is where I anticipate questions, and please don't wait until the due time to ask me questions. You've got to give me some leeway. So if you plan on, you start at the lab late and it's, 5:30 and you're emailing me questions, that's not going to work. You'll have had to have asked me earlier, or just hold off and turn it in during the late period. Remember, the late period's only a 10% reduction. So if you get into trouble, don't turn in a lab that doesn't work. You'll get far more points deducted that way than if you turned it in during the late period. Okay, so for each of the weeks, we have the lab assignments, and we've got the due date at 5:59 p.m. and so on. So then we've got the next week and the due dates and so on. So then we've got the dates for the midterm. It's going to be a range of dates, October 2nd through October 5th for midterm 1. Don't confuse the midterm with the midterm practice. In the course, I've given you under tests and quizzes, you're going to see a midterm 1 practice. That's the practice exam, and that will appear before the exam 1 appears. Exam 1 is the first midterm. Okay, this is just the practice for it. So keep that in mind. So you're going to have, for each of the tests, you're going to have a practice. Midterm 1 practice, midterm 2 practice, and a final exam study guide, which is essentially a practice exam. Okay, so that is the course in overview. Here's where you're going to turn your assignments in. Under our classroom. So, by the way, I do have a lab questions. So there's a video that you're going to watch, and I've got videos listed here. You need to watch these videos. So the first video that you're going to watch is installing Visual Studio 2019, but then you're going to have one that is going to be Lab 1A demonstration. You need to watch that. And you also need to watch Starting Visual Basic. And I go through how to save your projects, how to zip your projects, and send your projects. Those are critical steps. So make sure you watch these videos. Anyway, I was going over getting to the lab. I was talking about lab questions. So if you have a question about a particular assignment, you're going to submit the project as you have it and then ask me questions. You need to email me that you have submitted a lab question here, because this is a non-graded area. When you go into assignments and submit something, I am going to grade that assignment. So don't submit questions here. This is for finished projects. So I've got lab submission procedures. Please read that. I have instructions for using demos, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And then after we get to lab 5, I've got procedures for copying a project. Okay, so when I talked about demos, I've got some lab instructions and I've got demos here that will show you how the lab is supposed to look and function. Unlike almost any other course you take, you cannot get an example of a finished product. I give you that here. So we go into lab 1, and we're going to have lab 1A and lab 1B. Both of those are due that first week, on Sunday in this case. So I've got, in lab 1A, I just have a screenshot of what it's supposed to look like. But that's because there was a problem with the lab. But this is how it's supposed to look. If I click the English button, it says Hello World. If I click the French button, it says Bonjour tout le monde. And Spanish says something and German says something. And the exit performs. So, let me close this. Okay, so when I get back to the demo is something that you can save on your computer and run. So for the Lab 1B demo, I right-click, Save Link As, in this case, or Save Target As if you're using another browser. In this case, I'm going to just save it to my desktop, Lab 1B, save it. Okay. And now I go to my desktop and see where that's saved. Okay, there it is. I have too many things on my desktop. So I saved it. I run it. Now it's going to say protected. I'm going to say more information, run anyway. And boom, I can see exactly how this lab is supposed to look and function.